Hello there, this is Raul Handa, founder and CEO of the Fortuna Group and your host of the FFTB show. Another day, another inspiring leader at another episode of the FFTB show, and that's what I love about what we do, where we get to meet amazing people. Today, I have an amazing, inspiring leader. She was a recipient of the Most Inspiring Leader of the Year at the recently concluded 2024 Global Edition of the Fortuna Global Excellence Awards. She currently works at the King Faisal Specialty Hospital and Research Center in Saudi Arabia. She's a pioneering breast and endocrine surgeon with over 2 decades of experience. She's a graduate of King Saud University with advanced fellowships from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She did her master's in surgical leadership from Harvard, did her MBA from Oxford. She leads surgical education as an associate professor and program director at King Faisal Specialty Hospital and Research Center and Al Faisal University. Her work focuses on advancing culturally sensitive care, breast cancer awareness, and patient-centered treatment surgeries. As a board member of the Saudi Society of Breast and Endocrine Surgery, she's dedicated to mentorship, innovation, and shaping the future of global healthcare. She is a trailblazer. She is a hustler. She is a mother, a wife, and overall a fantastic doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together in welcoming Dr. Amal Alhefdhi. Hello, Doc. How are you?
Hello. It's my pleasure to be with you. How are you?
The pleasure is all mine. So, this is the second time we're sitting together, and I already know everything about whatever you told me about your life, and it's been a very interesting story that you've had. It's a journey of courage. It's a journey of resilience. It's a journey where you never gave up. So let's tell the audience, how did Amal, or Dr. Amal Alhefdhi, become Dr. Amal Alhefdhi? How did it all start? Tell us about your journey.
My journey actually is really too long. I will try my best to describe it and summarize it in the same time. So to tell you the truth, the first time that I said that I want to be a surgeon, according to my dad, was when I was 3 years old. He asked me, what do you want to be when you are old or when you grow up? And I told him I want to be a surgeon. In reality, I cannot recall it. Really, I cannot recall it. But my father said, you said so, and he thought that I watched something at that time or saw something about the surgeon, and I decided to say I'm a surgeon. Later on, during the elementary school, since that time, I know that I want to be a doctor. Maybe because at that time, the only chance for female in Saudi Arabia was either teaching or to be a physician. And I have a passion to be a physician. I didn't decide at that time to be a surgeon, but I know that I want to be a physician. And then after the elementary school, I went to intermittent with the same mind. I want to be a physician. In high school, I kept saying that I want to go for a medical college. My mother, she was worried because there was no medical school in the same city. So I was born and grew up in Abha. It's a city in the southwest of Saudi Arabia. We have a medical college for men, but not for women. And they keep saying they will open next year, but we didn't see it at least at that time. But I told my mom I want to be a physician. I work hard really in a high school, as usual, because this is, it's maybe my mind and my personality. I want to have one of the high score, and I get mad when I lose any even quarter of the score of during the whole school actually journey. And in high school, I told my mother I want to be a physician, even if I need to travel from the city. Saying that maybe nowadays it's easy and it's very common, but it wasn't the case when I was in the high school. So I told my mom I will really go for another city, maybe abroad if I need to. And when I finished the high school, I finished it with very high score. I was one of the top 10 I ranked among the country, not only the region.
Wow.
And my mom, she was happy at that time, and she started to think about what I said.
Right.
My father and my grandfather actually, and even my uncles, a lot of my family, they were supporting. It's something new. They are a little bit hesitant, but they are really supporting. And my father, he said, just go do whatever you want to do. At the actually at that year, I received a scholarship from the government.
Wow.
And the scholarship was to the United States University of George Washington. And because I was almost, I would say 16, 17 years, because I entered the school young, which was allowed at that time. It's not anymore now in Saudi Arabia. So I graduated really in young age. And because I'm a female also, not only because of my age, also because I'm a female, at that time, I cannot go to the United States alone. I have to have a companion with me. I need a male. We call it mahram in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So I need to have one with me, otherwise I will not be able to go.
Okay.
My brother was 1 year older than me, but he cannot come with me. I think by age, he may be either borderline 18 or less than 18. My father was general. He cannot leave his job and come with me.
A general in the army?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there was a lot of discussion, and my mom, she wouldn't allow me to go alone. Even the government policy at that time, according to my age, and since I'm a lady, I cannot go alone. So there was a lot of discussion. So I said, okay, I will not go abroad, but I need to pick one of the best university in my country, which at that time was King Saud University. So I went there. I applied for medical college. My mother, she was really still afraid. She kept telling me what the people said, what the other ladies, our culture keeps saying, and they tell her a lot of story to make her afraid. And then she told me, well, just in case, she applied for me in the teacher college in our city, and I get accepted in mathematics department. But I told her, no way, I'm going for medical college, whatever is the case.
So they were trying to convince you to do anything else but get into medicine?
She wanted me to go, but she was afraid.
She was hesitant.
Yeah.
Because what would the relatives say? What would the society say?
Yes. At the same time, nowadays we know that everything is available.
Correct.
And we have the net, we have the phones, we have everything.
Correct.
But at that time, the cell phone was prohibited. I cannot have one in the university dorm. There is no TV. I cannot have even the laptop inside my room. So it was really restricted. So it wasn't really easy life. Yeah. But I told her I want to be a physician and I'm going for it.
Right.
I had been accepted in the medical college, and I went to the dorm, which is really at that time very, very restricted for ladies. So nobody can visit me easily. I cannot order food. I can't have a cell phone. I cannot have a laptop. It was very restricted. In some occasion, actually, even the pant was prohibited. We cannot wear it easily. Yeah, that was more than, I will say, I don't want to say that I'm that old, but almost 30 years ago. So, but I have to accept that to be able to get my dream. So I accepted, and I didn't even argue with it. I was really very polite. I'm doing everything as per the policy because that's what they think at that time is the best for us. Even, it wasn't easy to be late in the college for 5 minutes. You cannot go early. You cannot visit the hospital during the weekend. We have a schedule according to the university and the dorm.
Right.
So I went through it and I didn't even complain. I was okay. I want to have my dream. And later on, actually, maybe at the end year or something, 1 or 2 years before I graduate, one of my sisters, she joined me. And when she came, she didn't tolerate. She said, you never speak about it. But anyway, because I was about to graduate and I need really to work in the hospital, I have on calls and extra stuff. So we decided to go out and to rent something.
Right.
Again, it wasn't easy to rent. At that time, as a family, we can rent an apartment or go to reservation in hotels. But as a lady, it wasn't really easy.
You couldn't get a reservation because
there are only few options, and when we have one, it will be a little bit tight, but I'm trying the best. And by the end, actually, my father, my brother, we work together and we stick together to be able to finish. So I was with my brother and my sister by the end. and I start my journey. Again, during my medical school, I loved the surgery, and I just I'm trying my best to give my family and my culture a hint that I like the surgery, but
Right.
I didn't say anything
Right.
because I don't want anybody to be mad. To tell you the truth, even maybe in the college, they thought that I will go for medicine, but I really love the surgery, and I like it. I find myself as a surgeon. So I finished my training without saying anything and my college. And by the end, after the internship, it's the time for application now for the residency training program.
Right.
So I told my family that I'm planning to stay in Riyadh. I'm not going back to Abha, not because Abha is not good, but I'm trying my best to have the best program, available program. And I want to be a surgeon. So again, my mother, she tried to convince me to go for medicine, pediatric, and actually by the end, they told me, okay, go to obstetric and gynecology. They have surgery too. But I told them, no, I will just go for the programs, for surgical program, and I'll apply for it. If not, I will find something else, but I will not apply for anything else apart from surgery. Maybe I was lucky at that time because the university, they were looking for an academic female surgeon. So that was my plan, actually, and that was my aim. And all the rest of the application, it was in my mind initially, it's a standby, but I'm going for the university. I want to be an academic surgeon. In the interview, they asked me a lot of questions, and I told him, you are my first choice, and I will not go for any other place except if I get accepted here. But for sure, you are plan A for me. By the end of the interview, actually, they told me there are three, but one of them, actually, he said, well, everything is okay. Everything is amazing. Everything is fantastic. There is only one thing which is we think is a little bit, he said like something wrong or something I need to work on it, or they are not happy about it. To tell you the truth, I was happy. I told him nothing. Nobody is really can meet everything. 100% is difficult.
Absolutely.
But it's okay. If there is something, only one thing, I can work on it during my training program, and I will ensure you from now that I will not finish my program without really working hard on it to correct it.
Right.
Then he told me the only thing that we didn't like it, that you are a female.
Wow.
Yeah.
In your interview?
In my interview. To tell you the truth, the other member, he was mad. He didn't like this comment at all. But I don't know why did he say it. Then I told him, well, see, I told you I'm serious that you are my first choice. And I was not planning to go anywhere else. But I don't think that being a female is something bad or something I need to work on it. I'm a lady and I'm a female. I'm happy with that, and I will not correct it.
Right.
Saying that I will not go anywhere except here. I'm changing it now. I'm telling you I will not come here except if I get rejected from all the places. So I don't have another choice, because I want to go with my dream as a surgeon.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, if I get accepted anywhere, I'm not coming here. Mm-hmm. Actually, one of them, he apologized. He said, well, he tried to give them an excuse, and he said, well, our experience with the female surgeon are bad. Even if you have it, it doesn't mean that because they are ladies or they are female. Maybe I cannot really know
maybe
why.
She was just a bad surgeon. It had nothing to do with her gender.
Maybe you are asking her to do more than she need to do.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you don't accept a female leader at that time, which is totally different now. So they apologize, but I told them very clearly, I make it very clear, I'm not coming here except if I get rejected from our other hospitals. So I get accepted in multiple hospitals. One of them is King Faisal, which I don't know about it a lot before, but I don't regret that I went there. It's amazing hospital, very tertiary hospital. All the new trend is there. They are really advanced. So I think this is the God, he helped me to go there.
Right.
And I get accepted there and started my residency there. Actually, my family, they accept by the end. My mom, she was worried that you will not get married. Maybe the people, they will not like you because you are a lady. And you will hear a lot of bad stuff. But I told her, I'm okay. My dream is to be a surgeon. I don't care about the rest. And I continue.
So, just to let our audience know, Dr. Amal Alhefdhi is one of the first 25 female surgeons from Saudi Arabia. She's the embodiment of perseverance. Talking about perseverance, Dr. Amal, you've studied, and you continue to study. You're evolving as a doctor. Even with 20 years of experience, you recently were at Harvard for your master's in surgical leadership. How was that? And why Harvard? And why is it so important to constantly study and keep yourself updated with new courses?
There are multiple questions in one question. So continuous education is very important for any medical stuff. A lot of new stuff, a lot of trend, a lot of technique. I have to be updated. Otherwise, I will miss a lot of stuff and I will not be able to, give the standard of the treatment for my patients. In my hospital, residency program alone will provide us with a board, which is, we call it Saudi board in general surgery. But my hospital is really very advanced and it has subspecialties. In order to be able to continue in the same hospital, I need to have a North American training. Meaning that I have to be in the top of the thing, not because of it's North American, no, because we need to be updated. We need to have all the skills which is really needed to cover the complex cases in my hospital. So I went to United States for my fellowship for clinical fellowship in breast and endocrine surgery. However, when I went there, I find a lot of different atmosphere. Although I know that we need to go for university, hospital, but I thought that it's as usual. We have a clinical and we have either research or basic science. But going there, I find that a lot of people, they have their own, degree in different subspecialties. So to start with, some of them, they didn't start in medicine. They start with biomedic, or they start with engineering, or they start with something else which really make them more advanced in some skills. And after the program or during the program, they will be exposed to research, to education, to basic science, so a lot of technique which is missing in my training. I have been trained clinically very well, but we don't have as much of other skills at that time. Nowadays we have it, which is really great in our country, but before, no. Being a female, I always think about being updated. I have to have all the skills. I need to hold my position, in professional way. So maybe I think that, yes, I need to be up in everything. I need to know, I wouldn't say everything, but at least the one I need to know. So that's why I decided to have a master's degree in research. And I think this will benefit me and my trainee, my hospital. My hospital is a research center also.
Right.
Then I come back to Saudi Arabia. I start a lot of stuff. With the time, my career is getting advanced slowly. Having more skills, yes, but I'm holding more advanced positions. So I think at that time that I need to know more about the leadership skills. I'm glad that a lot of the people who work with me, they think that I'm a leader, which is good for me to hear that. But knowing more about it will help me to lead, for example, the OR, the nurses, the staff, the trainee. I have been through a lot during my training and my studying. I don't think that I need to let the people go through whatever I went through.
Right.
So I was looking for a solution for everything. I'm trying to use the best possible, skills to lead them. And actually, I think that was really good thinking because I feel that I helped a lot of them. And by the end, I'm that person who need to work in very healthy environment. And I think when we are together, we will produce in more productive way, in more helpful way. I cannot work alone in medical field. I'm a surgeon, that's fine, but I cannot work without my trainee, without the nurses, without the
Absolutely.
technician.
Absolutely.
We should be all in harmony.
Absolutely.
I should understand them and they should understand me. And, it's a win-win game. I will do something for me and in the same time, I need to listen to them and let them achieve their goals. So that's why I took the master in surgical leadership in Harvard. And I was really looking for Harvard, to tell you the truth. Yes, maybe because I usually have the high score, and I'm really, in one occasion, I dreamed that I will go to Harvard or Oxford. So one of my goals was to take the surgical leadership, and when I find that Harvard, they offer it, I didn't hesitate to take it at all.
Right.
And it benefited me a lot. Nowadays, because of the transformation in Saudi Arabia, I discovered that, okay, maybe I'm a good leader, but still there are some areas in which I need to know about the management. Management
Right.
is totally different than the leadership.
Right.
I'm a physician, but did they teach us the management during our medical college? No. Did they tell us that you have to know the financial aspect? No. So with the new transformation in my country, and especially in healthcare, I thought that I need to know more. I have a lot of deficiency in these
Right.
areas.
Right.
So again, I try to search for a good program, and I want really a program which match my goals and has some flexibility, since I cannot really stop my clinical work. So I find one in Oxford, which I think was the best choice for me. And it's only 6 hours, almost 7 hours from Riyadh to
Okay.
Oxford.
Yes,
So
correct.
yeah, so I went there and I just finished my courses, waiting for graduation ceremony.
Right. Right.
So hopefully that will help me actually a lot in the coming, near future, because even my institution now, instead of general organization, now we are non-profit organization.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Doc, you spoke about how back in the day it was difficult for people to accept women in leadership roles. We just talked about the whole history and the story behind why you chose to do your master's in surgical leadership from Harvard. You've also gone to Oxford. You're constantly evolving. You're doing a lot of research work. What is the drive? What keeps you motivated? What is it that makes you, even after so many years? Because I worked very closely with the healthcare industry, and many a times a lot of doctors become complacent. They feel they're irreplaceable. They don't want to evolve. They feel that they know everything. And here you are on the other end, who's constantly studying, understands that that there are some deficiencies that I was not taught in school, in med school, like leadership, etc., which you have taken up, and you're constantly evolving. You're constantly doing courses. You're also a mother. That's a full-time job. You're a wife. You're a sister. You're a daughter. You're donning multiple hats. You're studying. You got your practice. So you're doing too many things. Does exhaustion ever hit you? How do you keep yourself going? How do you get out of bed each morning?
I love my work. To tell you the truth, I love it. I love it, and I feel a lot of enjoyment when I help patient, when I discover something, when I conduct a research. In multiple occasions, I will say, at multiple levels, I feel satisfied. One of the things that maybe based on my religion, I think this is very helpful, and maybe by doing something that I can help the people. I may not be able to do something else, but it's something I also think it will help me in my religion. It's in the same time, everybody has his own personality, and you can know what make you enjoy. You can enjoy something and you don't enjoy something. I'm that person who really, I love my work. I enjoy helping the people, helping the patient, discovering the thing, and I feel very happy about myself. I'm not closed, I'm open. So I really like to listen. I adapt easily for the change if I think it is really has some benefit or it will add something.
Right.
So I know that I keep saying it. Those people who know a lot, they know that science will not stop.
Right.
You never know everything. Actually,
Right.
when I know something new, I know that yes, see, I don't know a lot of stuff, and I think seriously when I say that I know everything. That means it's the start of my end. Nobody know everything, and there are a lot of science which we think it's correct now, but after 5, 10, 20 years we discover something different.
Right.
So nobody know everything, and I enjoy discovering the stuff and figure out if this is really good or bad.
Right. So you're working as a program director of the Breast and Endocrine Surgical Oncology Fellowship Training Program at the King Faisal Specialty Hospital and Research Center. What are the pioneering programs that you're working on at the moment that you'd like to tell us about?
I'm working very hard with our fellows. Actually, the fellowship program was initiated by one of our senior consultant who trained me.
Oh, wow. So he was your mentor. Wow.
I will say I will consider consider him as a mentor. But by the way, mentorship is very important, and this is what we work on it now.
Right, right.
When I was a resident, I don't have a mentor, so I was alone. And maybe because I was a lady, there was some culture restriction, and the majority of the surgeons, they are men, so there are a lot of aspects. But our senior consultant, he was the one who started, initiated, and then when he became the chair of the committee in our Saudi Cultural Commission of Health Specialization, he nominated me to be the program director. Yeah, and until now he's with us. He's our chair for our section, and we work together. I'm glad that he is really trusting me, and he enjoy whatever change I try to make, and he feel that it's really good for our fellows, our trainee. What did I do different? Maybe there are a lot of things which is I have to change it based on the new thing in Saudi Arabia. And the other thing, actually, that I'm trying to, start a lot of new stuff in our program. So last year, I think it was, I conducted the first cadaveric training program.
Wow, yeah. Congratulations on that. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this year, there was a workshop, actually, which we did it in real patient. And after I finished it, actually, they told me that was the first in the world.
Wow.
They used the machine before, but I think for as intraoperative course, it was the first.
Right.
I keep encourage my fellow. The research was not mandatory for them, but I try my best to. I will not say keep it mandatory, but I want them to involve in it, at least to understand it as a mandatory.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still working. Nowadays, actually, after 2 weeks from now, I will start a master class, which is for breast and endocrine surgery.
Wow.
This year I started by myself, but by next year I'm involving all the program directors of different fellowships in Saudi Arabia. That will be a class actually for everybody, not only the fellows, but for everybody who are interested to update themselves in breast and endocrine surgical updated and whatever related to the guidelines, the standards, all the stuff.
Interesting. Okay. So, Doc, this is again a two-part question. Why specifically breast and endocrine surgery? Number one, what's the? I know you're all about women empowerment, creating awareness, raising awareness, but there must have been something in your mind that has made you stick to breast and endocrine surgery for so many years. You're doing a lot of research, like you just said. You're doing workshops. You're creating patient awareness. So the first part of my next question is why breast and endocrine surgery? And the second part of my next question is how has clinical investigation, that part, how has it helped in your journey to be a better surgeon?
Initially, I was thinking about surgery in general. I didn't think about breast and endocrine, to tell you the truth. And when I start my program in interview, I remember that I told them I may be an endocrine surgeon or maybe pediatric surgeon.
Okay.
During my training, I didn't feel that I'm a pediatric surgeon, and
Is it because you didn't feel connected to children, or because you were a mother?
Maybe at that time when I take the rotation, I wasn't a mother, but I feel that it's much better for me or easy to speak with the patient. I'm that kind of patient. I need to speak with the patient, make sure that he understands or she understands.
Right.
I take my time to have the decision and to let them think. With the kids, I'm speaking with the family, not them. And the other issue, actually, because I really don't like the hot or warm weather. So with pediatric, it is mandatory to have a warm theater. They get cold easily, so we need to keep the temperature within a special range, which I cannot tolerate it.
Right.
What make me feel that maybe I'm a breast or endocrine surgeon, that we have a lot of ladies who have a breast cancer and thyroid cancer, even benign disease. We have a lot. Breast cancer is number 1 in Saudi Arabia in females, and thyroid is the second.
Wow.
And it's almost the second or third for men also, the thyroid. What I felt bad initially when I start my program, that ladies, they came late with really advanced tumor, and sometimes we cannot do anything for them, or their survival will be very low.
Right.
And when we ask them, they said because they feel shy, they don't want men to examine them, and they are looking for a female. I felt that maybe it's my chance to help them, and I felt also that when I practice the surgery or even whatever disease medicine related to thyroid or breast, I love it. I think I find myself there. In the same time, I think I will help them. So I decide to go for it. Maybe later on, when I finish my program, also my hospital, when usually, the breast has its own fellowship and endocrine has its own fellowship. They asked me to take both when I went to United States, so I stick with both, and I didn't regret it until now. I think I love it. Maybe there is one thing maybe you don't know about it. I didn't tell you maybe about it. I'm not quite sure. But the first patient when I come from United States, I asked her to do the screening mammogram, and she found to have a cancer. Was my mom.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This was a blessing in disguise.
Yes. So
if you wouldn't have done this, you wouldn't have done the fellowship, you wouldn't have asked...
No, this is after the fellowship.
Yeah, I'm saying if you wouldn't have done it, you wouldn't have come back and asked your mom to do that test, and you wouldn't have known that she had,
cancer.
Wow.
So I try to help her. I avoid to be her surgeon because I want her to have her own thought.
Absolutely.
I don't want to interfere in her. I was there for her the whole time. I was with her in the hospital. But I will provide her with the information, and I keep tell her that you have to decide. I'm not deciding for you.
Absolutely.
During my journey, that helped me maybe to feel not only the patient feeling, but also the family and what that affect everybody seriously.
Right.
And this, helped me to understand my patient.
Right.
Maybe I treat them in different way because I know what does that mean.
Right.
And I'm not concerning only about patient, also the family. I take my time with them. When they are hesitant to take a decision, I keep repeat, I keep explain. I'm trying my best to let them, understand the situation and decide for themselves.
Right.
In the same time, I try my best with the family because I know what I felt it before. So when somebody is really sick, it's not only a patient, it's a patient and family and a work and a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Interesting. So you spoke about your mom, and obviously it's a very sensitive topic, so I'm not going to dwell there. But as a doctor, doctors always remember the first patient's life they save, the first patient's life that goes in the operating room. You've seen a lot of You've saved a lot of lives. You've seen a lot of people die as well in front of you. How do you, when you go back home, do you delete it from your mind? How do you, take care of your mental health? How do you overcome that? Because, for people like us, it's very difficult, to see someone lose their life. Even if you may not know them, it's a very difficult thing to say. You see this day in and day out. And it's a difficult thing, You're a very strong, independent doctor. You're a successful doctor. But what's the secret? How do you, as a doctor, make sure that your mental health is in the right place so that when you go home, because you're a full-time mother, you're also taking care of your kids? How do you do that, Doc?
To tell you the truth, it's not something easy. But again, I'm using more than one, approach. One of them is using my religion. So seeing those patients, seeing my mom, and seeing whatever in the life, we call it something faith, or we need to believe on it and ask the God to help and to accept our patient for it. After a lot of, a lot of seeing a lot of patient, a lot of, event in front of you, you know that you need to do whatever you need to do, but you cannot do more than that. So yes, I have to do all the stuff that I need to do it, but by the end, whatever the God, decide, it will go. It make me a little bit stronger than usual, but not stronger meaning that I'm not feeling, no, but I'm accepting. So I reached to the point that I accept.
Right.
I need to work hard. I need to do all that what I need to do. So I'm trying my best to eat healthy, for example, as much as I can, but sometimes you can't. I need to do exercise as much as I can. But again, I have the faith that whatever the God write for me, I will see it. Whatever He decide for me, it will be my end. I will be mad or sad if I didn't do what I should do.
Right.
And this is what I keep tell my patients. I'm sitting with them. I tell them, okay, you have a cancer, but believe me, there are other patients, they don't have cancer. They have diabetic. And when they end by multiple amputations. So we amputate the fingers, the hands. So it's painful. It's not a cancer, but it's very painful.
Right.
Something is better than something. And even when we sit in the room, there are 5 or 6 people. Do you want to tell me that all of us, we are happy and we don't have any issue in our life? No. We have a lot of issues.
Absolutely.
But as soon as you have a faith and you try to be strong to face it, and you did whatever you need to do, whatever is the end, you are happy.
Right.
But you will be mad if you didn't do, or if you didn't accept.
Right.
Don't accepting the thing is also, bad for your health, for your mental.
Absolutely.
From time to time, yes, I'm trying to do something to relax. For me, walking is very beneficial. I feel happy after a long walk. And in some occasion, I will not say that I didn't cry for some occasion. There are something you cannot do anything really.
Absolutely.
But it's the opposite when you have something and you manage to do something. There are some cases in which sometime, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, there is a lady, everybody refused to do anything for her. I know she's advanced, but her quality of life was bad. And when I review her, I don't want to speak about the case in details, but it was really miserable life. And when I decide to interfere, I just want to make sure that I will not harm her. So I said, okay, I will be able to do this and this. This will improve her quality. I will not say that I will improve her survival.
Right.
But I told her, I sit with her, I told her about all the possible complication, what can I do, what I can do. And I arrange with the anesthesia, with everybody to make sure that we will do whatever we can do. And, just a few minutes in the recovery room when I went there, she was crying and she asked the God to help me and to give me all the happiness in the world. And she kept saying, well, I will not forget that you saved me from very bad situation. Oh. She was miserable in life, really. Right. My surgery will not cure her, but she will be in good shape.
At least for the rest of her, for whatever time she has.
Yeah. So I'm happy. I did what I can do. I didn't really cured her, but I make something for her.
You did something more than that. You gave her whatever time she has left to enjoy that time with her family and friends. That's so awesome. Okay, Doc. So, there's a saying, there's a difference between all surgeons are good, some are great.
Yeah.
You are a great surgeon. What
Thank
does
you.
it take to be a great surgeon? Part A question. And part B question for us who are not non-medicine people, non-medical people. How do we identify when we go to a surgeon if he's a great surgeon? Can you tell me that?
I will say yes. The majority of the surgeons, they are good because, if they are bad, they will not be able to continue as a
Correct.
surgeons.
Absolutely.
This is correct.
Yes.
Great surgeons are those who have experience and they have also, they are patient and they are human. By the end, I'm not a good surgeon because I'm shouting, I'm yelling,
The ego and the
yeah,
arrogance.
I have the ego.
Yes.
No. I'm a good surgeon because I have an experience. I respect the people. I know when can I interfere and I can't. Because even those who say that we can do everything, they are not really a good surgeon in my mind. And if they say that everything can be treated by surgery, also this is not correct. We keep saying that even for the trainee in the beginning, you need to learn what is the indication for surgery. But in the middle, you need to be perfect in doing the surgery. And by the end, you will be a senior surgeon when you can tell, well, I cannot do anything for that, I will not interfere. So surgeon is not an ego. Actually, I keep saying that's why maybe I make a difference, a little bit for me at least, because I didn't change my identity. And maybe the question in the interview, make me, more, I have a feeling that I should not change. There are some surgeons, female surgeons, who really act like a man.
Right.
And I was totally against that. So I kept my identity and I refused to shout. I refused to yell. I think healthy environment is the best for everybody, even
Absolutely.
surgeon.
Absolutely.
And I keep telling them, okay, surgeon is not surgeon because of the ego and shouting. I think the surgeon is like those who are the arts when you are drawing. The more calm is the more productivity and more great work. And I think they have to listen to their, the patient. So
Absolutely.
surgery, for example, I can do surgery, but if I didn't solve the patient need, what is the benefit? Great surgery. I'm a great surgeon, but I didn't solve his problem.
What's the point? Absolutely. That's a very valid point, Doc. And I love what you said, that you did not let go of your identity. Last question, Dr. Amal. You've Harvard, check. Research, check. Award, check. Global award, check. Recognition, check. It seems like you've achieved anything, but from what I know about you, you're a hustler. You don't stop. So what's next for Dr. Amal? Anything that you can share? What can we expect? What's coming up?
Well, I have a lot of in my mind now. I didn't really tell anybody about it, but yes, I'm thinking about more advanced in breast and thyroid surgery. Could be something I can do it by myself, or could be something I can start it for somebody after me. So
Right.
the surgery will not stop on me, but if
Right.
I can help by any means, I will do it. And
Right.
I have multiple, topics in my head. I will not say that it will be the best or the perfect, and may work, may not, but I'm willing to try, and I will do it.
Absolutely. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had the absolute honor and privilege to have one of the topmost surgeons, female surgeons, for surgeon first, female surgeon second, from Saudi Arabia here in Dubai in our studio today, a recent recipient of the most inspiring leader in health and wellness at the recently concluded 2024 global edition of the Fortuna Global Excellence Awards. And what a fitting title. Thank you so much for spending the time with us, Dr. Amal, today, coming out of your busy schedule from flying from Saudi Arabia, sitting with us, telling us about your life. And I hope that if there's any young 17, 18-year-old Amal watching this, She can be a surgeon because we've got one surgeon right here, one of the best in the world, an Oxford graduate, master's, a Harvard master's graduate, a researcher. She's getting into scientist stuff. I think it's crazy. It's impeccable, the work that you can do only if you put your mind to it. And with the way Dr. Amal came out of all the possible hardships that she faced, she could have taken up that as an excuse. There were so many things stopping her, right from the culture, the people around her, but she didn't give up. And I think that's what the FFTB show talks about. Fortuna favors the brave. She was brave enough to want something so hard. And here she is today, the recipient of the Most Inspiring Leader of the Year, the 2024 Global Edition of the Fortuna Global Excellence Awards. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Amal. Thank you.